by the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the path.
Okay, I got to tell you how absolutely amazing this is. Every Saturday, we kick off our show, No Limits Radio Show, with that song. And the fact that today, the band that performs that song is in studio is just really freaking exciting. I just got to tell you. So welcome to a special Friday edition.
We are here.
I know.
With you.
I know. It's really kind of weird.
I know. We get it all the time.
Like
Via satellite.
No, but what's really cool is that as we're coming into the show, I'm always like singing along to that. And with you guys in studio, I'm like, oh, I better just not.
I was waiting for you to chime in. That sounded you were jamming.
I love that.
Harmonies.
I love that. All right. So welcome everyone to a very special Friday edition. As I mentioned, we have in studio the entire band, Madison Rising. We also have Joe and Joe in the background, bodyguard. They are with Phoenix Wounded Vets Run and putting on a really incredible event this Saturday night right here in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona. So I want to first learn a little bit more about the event.
So this event started 5 years ago in Boston, and we really had no idea about it. Individual in Boston, kind of same reason I started the Infidel Nation. He got sick of seeing vets on the street, seeing the vets with the injuries and everything else that goes on with it. The VA doesn't take care of. So he established an organization that takes care of them. It was called the first run. It was obviously the first Boston Wounded Vets Run. Individual walked into their Legion post and needed a new roof on his house. VA wasn't coming through with the money. So Andy threw the first Boston Wounded Vets Run, raised enough money for him, and then it just blew up from there. He's raised over, this will be the 5th year that he's done the run, and I can honestly say that he's probably about $1.5 million up right now for wounded vets in the city of Boston or the state of Massachusetts and surrounding. Since then, it's spawned to 12 other states. We're number 2. Money raised. We're number 2 as far as a successful ride. There's the other states that do it. Hats off to them. They're doing an excellent job. We've been to a couple of them so far. We have Colorado coming on this year, and Ohio is our 13th or 12 in our 13th state. So.
And how did Arizona get involved? How did you get involved in it?
Andy found me on Facebook. He found the Infidel Nation. He called me up. I kind of emailed back and forth on Facebook for a little while, and he called me up and invited me to Boston, and we couldn't make it that year. And we kind of collectively sat down and talked about bringing this run here and what our guys thought about it and the commitment and everything else. So I called Andy and pitched it to him, and he said, absolutely. We had Evan, one of their honorees for their 2nd year. Andy flew out with Tim Chambers and then one other guy from Boston that was with him. You guys don't know who Tim Chambers is. Saluting Marine from Washington, D.C. came out, and they hung out with us. Yeah, you know Tim.
Yep.
They hung out with us for about a week, riding around, logistical stuff, figuring everything out. And then it came time to find the vet. We went through every organization in Arizona to try and find a veteran that fit what we needed. Somebody that was.
What do you mean that fit what you needed?
A disabled veteran, a combat wounded disabled veteran. We went through Wounded Warriors Foundation, and not for nothing, but I can't justify giving $11,000 to a guy with severe PTSD. You know what I mean? Right. It is a nasty thing, and that's why I wear this ring, this black ring. It's for 22 kill, 22 veterans a day commit suicide, and it's a terrible thing. And we raise awareness as much as we possibly can. But I'm looking for that guy that's down and out, that doesn't have very much going for him because of the injuries that he has. So Andy called me one day. He goes, we got an honoree for you for this year, for the first year. His name is Mason Steele. Mason was a medic, and he was in country for about 42 days, something like that. And he was victim of an IED blast. Took a piece of shrapnel through his face, blew off the whole top part of his jaw. He lost all his sinuses. He's blind in his right eye. So when we were approached about Mason, And we started doing research on him. And I talked to him on the phone and everything. And he's kind of upbeat. He's great. This sounds like a good deal. You guys are legit. And I had people calling me from all over the place wanting to be involved with it. But at the same time, they were sick of seeing these organizations like Wounded Warriors Project that parade the vet around and collect the money for themselves.
Right.
And I had multiple people ask me, like, hey, I'm not coming out until we meet. And I met with, he was with me for the most part again last year, and saw the amount of people we were with and talking to and finding out more and more about our organization. So we meet Mason finally. It's about 6 weeks from the ride, and we start to hear more and more about his story and the things that are going on. Army charged him $5,000 for the gear he got blown up in Iraq. He was unconscious. Obviously, he's flown to Germany with half a face, and they're hitting him with a $5,000 bill. He was never officially awarded his Purple Heart. When he was given his Purple Heart in a plastic bag at Walter Reed. So when we met him, he was on his last leg. The Army's pushing pills on him and they're just trying to get him out. Just another recycled, just out into the public you go, don't care about you anymore. And his mom's telling us all this. Obviously, Mason's too prideful. He's standing there and everything's good to go. And I'm strong vet. Well, when we're finding out more and more about this, it's adding more and more to the ride. It's adding more things that we can do for him to help him to really kind of close a chapter in his life. So last minute, like I was telling you before, nobody even knew about it except for me and one of the other riders that had connections to the Arizona State ROTC program. We had a full bird colonel and a major come. So last year we had 150 riders in the rain. We had people from California, Boston, all over the place come to the ride. We pulled into Salty Senoritas on the west side of Phoenix with fire trucks standing up with a big American flag and Tim Chambers saluting us on the way in. And here comes this full bird, walks up to me, and nobody knows. Parents don't even know. And his dad was tears all day because it physically hurt Mason to smile, and he was just ear to ear all day long. And I'll be the first one to tell you, it was an experience seeing him hanging out the window, taking pictures and smiling. And I was tears the whole way to Salty's. Well, we get there and everybody gets their beer and orders food and everything calms down, and they play colors and they call Mason up there and they officially read him his Purple Heart citation. So it gave him something that he never had. You know what I mean? It closed that chapter in his life. And when he got the check from us, he sent a text out to everybody. His dog broke his leg. His wife's car broke down. He was sleeping on a bed on the floor. So, like everything was, it was really hitting a fan for him. So we contributed to a new chapter in somebody's life. And that really showed our club and the people that surround us what we're doing. And it really pushed our mission to that much further. And when we started to build everything up for this year, it added so much more for us and for the public to the ride. So that's basically the history of how we started this thing.
Awesome.
It truly is amazing. Your first year, how much did you raise, and what is the goal for your second year?
We raised just over $12,000 last year, and we gave Mason 11,000 of it.
That's incredible.
That's amazing.
And we don't have a goal. We just want to go out and we have a rifle we're raffling off, and it's raised most of our money. We've been 100% self-funded up until about 2 weeks ago.
Well, and the thing that's interesting, it takes a lot of man hours. It takes a lot of money to put on an event. And oftentimes with other events, a lot of money goes to administration. So the fact that you guys are able to put so much money directly to the people that it's intended for is absolutely incredible. Now, this year, who's the honoree, and how did you pick this person? Because it sounds like you went through a lot of work to pick that first honoree.
We did, and I tell everybody asks the same questions: how do you pick somebody? And it's one of those things. It's like, how do you pick an individual who's the worst case? You know what I mean? And you try and find it, and it's a hard process. And sometimes I feel like I'm mean to a point when I talk to some of these people, because it's like, oh, we got this guy like this, and like, sorry, man, it's not what we're looking for. And it's somebody that might legitimately need help. And as we grow, we can help certain people. But
Or the guy who called up wanting help for his DUI.
yeah, we actually had a guy that got a DUI in a car accident and wanted us to help with legal things. He read that we help vets on the website and the Facebook page. But it's stuff like that. Yeah. get your, find a lawyer service. But, it's unfortunate, but, as we grow, we can help. Again, Andy hit me with Brad, and we actually approached Brad with the ride last year. But like I told you, he was in a good spot. He's had a lot of help from certain people. Semper Fi Fund helped him out a lot, and a couple of other organizations. And the reason that we took Brad in this year is because, one, his stumps got reinfected 3 times this year, and he's been opened up. He's new prosthetics, a bunch of new things like for him to physically be part of society again. And
you're great.
Oh.
You're amazing. You get easily distracted like I do.
Yeah.
We'll take Adam out back and beat him afterwards. Okay.
All right. So to pick Brad, I called him up and he told me straight out, he goes, if there's somebody that you find that's better off, then by all means go ahead. And I told him, I said, you know what? And I mean, you can vouch for this if ever want to ask for help, especially these guys that lose a limb or whatever it is, and they're mentally at a point where, it's done. Like some of them are just like, I'm done. It is what it is. We actually had an individual that got blown up. He was on his 8th surgery, and he was a Marine, and he was bouncing from house to house with friends, doesn't have a car, doesn't have a job. VA won't 100% disable him. They put him on a certain status after he gets his surgery. And long story short, we approached him and he said no. So a guy like Brad that is missing both legs and adapts and overcomes on a daily basis and pushes forward. He's climbed mountains. He's done all kinds of just crazy stuff that normal people with missing legs, normal people with 2 legs probably wouldn't do.
I don't climb any mountains.
And yeah, neither do I. So it's something that he pushes forward and he conquers everything. Somebody like him is an advocate for people that are too prideful to say, yeah, I do need help.
Sure.
So Brad's given a portion of the money. He's keeping obviously a small part of it, but he's given back to the Semper Fi Fund. He's given to another chunk of it to an individual, a friend of his. It's a film student. He's doing a documentary on the Sanjin province where he got blown up.
Okay.
So, it's
and
a
military assistance mission. Ma'am is also
ma'am
involved.
is involved with us. Yes.
Okay. As a recipient as well.
We are going to donate to her, but Margie's she is an unbelievable
Isn't she?
woman.
Yeah.
That lady right there. Have you met her?
Not yet.
From ma'am, she'll be up there tonight.
Cool.
So, I mean, I call her up and it's like, hey, we're getting a liquor license. We need your help. No problem, Joe, whatever you guys need.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a check that's written to you. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's figure this out. You guys can, whatever it is. And she's an unbelievable woman for what she does in the Valley.
Yep. We love Margie.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Now,
Progress.
This year, you've got Madison Rising that's here. They're going to be a part of it. Tell me about their involvement.
Well, Hard Rock was like 2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago, we met. I actually met Joe. We were playing a show. We were playing at the Phoenix Cardinals halftime show. And then we were also doing a show down at the Hard Rock Cafe that week. And, when Madison Rising goes out to play shows, we try to adapt to each and every situation, because ever since I was a kid and seeing shows, there was all these bands, and I'd look up to them and be like, wow, that'd be so cool to meet those guys. And not to, say anything about ourselves, but we like to involve the people that are in the crowds. We want people to come up to us. We want to meet the people who enjoy our music, because those are the people that we make it for, and they get it. I mean, we know our music is not for everybody, but the people that do get it really, really do get it. They understand exactly what we're doing, why we do it, why it's important that we do it, and we want to meet them. So Joe was one of those guys. We kind of struck it off right off the bat. Both veterans, and just kind of seeing how things were going. And he's like, I gotta have you guys out for a ride. I have you guys out for a ride. Time lapse, 2 years went by. Yeah. And recently over the winter time, and we honestly, guys like Joe, we get a lot of people offering to have us perform at their venues so that they can help raise money for guys like, what they're doing with their veterans or their wounded or their organizations, but they're all usually great causes. This year we did our Shows for Heroes campaign, and it was, a great success. We raised $25,000 to go out and be able to do shows with guys like Joe and other organizations across the country, because what happens is we get bombarded with our natural tour, and then in between those days, people ask us, hey, can you swing up here? Can you go a state over one just for us and do this? You guys are so close. Can you make it happen? And now we have a little bit of funding behind ourselves to be able to help give back and give those shows and give our stuff to guys like Joe and other organizations across the country. So he's actually one of our first shows for Heroes candidates. So it's a trickle down thing. Honestly, it's like we give to them, they give, and it keeps going. And hopefully, the circle.
Pyramid.
Yeah, but friends helping friends.
People helping people. It's powerful stuff.
Yeah. But no, at the end of the day, guys like Joe are our diehard fans, the believers in Madison Rising. They believe in the cause, and we believe in what they're doing, and we believe in their cause as well. So it's great partnerships, and that's what makes great business, and that's what makes people benefit at the end of the rainbow, not like just having a giant corporation building a bank account.
So you guys are all here. You're performing Saturday at Harley Davidson Scottsdale.
Yep.
Can people, if they want to register for the ride, is it too late? Can they still register?
Pre-registration's closed. We'll have registration starts tomorrow morning at 10:30 at Haymakers at 99th and Happy Valley. That's where we'll be kicking everything off. We'll be leaving there at 12:30 and headed to Harley Davidson of Scottsdale. Once we get there, show starts at 3. We have a opening band. It's Arizona Moonshine Band. They'll be opening for these guys, and then Madison Rising goes on around 5 o'clock.
But if people want to just show up for the ride,
show up for the ride, they can register at Haymaker. If they want to show up just for the event and see these guys perform, then they pay at the door. Okay.
And will you guys be selling CDs, T-shirts?
Well, that's a good question.
Well, that depends.
Hope so.
There's an airline. I won't say who, so we'll just make up a name like Southwest, who lost the merch. So we'll see.
Well, I did get an email since we've been.
We have
we might have some progress. On
okay, who do we need to call at Southwest?
Let's call it Northeast Airlines.
What's your name?
It's okay. I don't think they're an advertiser. Are they an advertiser?
Hey, no.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to share with everyone the website for your organization. It's theyfoughtweridenational.com. So I want to encourage everyone to go there to get more details.
Yep. It has ride start times, everything, the show, all about the show and everything else on there.
Okay. Well, it would be amazing if our government took care of all of our vets. And if we got to the point where you don't need to do these kind of rides.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But what?
Government taking care of vets.
Well, it's funny.
Was that an oxymoron?
We thought this was the joke portion.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that though, because Phoenix is weird, and you guys travel as much as you do. You can see the difference between East Coast support and West Coast support.
Yes.
When Boston does this ride, their mayor wears their sweatshirt on national TV.
Yep.
Doing an interview with somebody, a Boston Winter Vets Run T-shirt. I sent a couple emails out to local politicians and everybody last year. I still haven't gotten a response. So and I'm not going to bring up anybody, but somebody wanted to charge us like $985 for an escort just to get off the freeway. So you look at what we're doing, and it's unbelievable. Yeah.
I love that Joe in the background.
In his
at the right moment.
in his defense, we've been driving around today, and there's some wacky people on these highways.
There's some weird drivers.
I don't think people around here know how an HOV lane works.
I immediately was thinking, oh shit, what did I do?
Yeah,
I wasn't that driver. Okay.
We're driving around. We saw someone in a golf cart on the street. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah.
So what's going on?
Now, Joe, you are a veteran.
Yes.
Dave, you're a veteran. Thank you both for your service. The three of you are not, correct? Okay.
Just big supporters.
Absolutely. I want to ask you, did your service in any way prepare you for your music career?
Well,
That's a good question.
it's a great question, because let's face it, the music industry and the music business in general is about as cutthroat as you can possibly get. It's not a battlefield by the term of the word, but it is definitely cutthroat. People are out to get you. It's very political, and the stance that we as Madison Rising take, being pro-American and patriotic, you wouldn't think that would be something that would really tick a lot of people off. But for some reason, when you stand tall, stand proud, and speak the truth, they have a really big problem with that. And I'll say this, that on and off the stage, it has prepared me, just physically on the stage, because if you've ever been to a Madison Rising show, you'll know that, I give 155% up there for the entire show. So physically, an hour and a half, I'm probably draining calorie wise somewhere in the 6,000s. And then, mentally after the show and everything else that goes along with it, the business side, my wife, great wife, Becky, which Joe has, spoken with her. A lot of conversation. She holds a lot of it together on the home front with the kids and with the business side of it. And then we also have Rich as our manager. So there's a lot of little tiny moving pieces that work to the grind every single day that nobody really sees. And then you add it all together. It's like a working machine. It is almost like a military unit. And with these guys on the road, we are our own team on the road. And that team mentality is what gets us through the hardest parts together.
So did you guys all have to go through boot camp to be in the band?
I make them do push-ups at truck stops.
No, we have done push-ups at truck stops on occasion.
Target parking lot.
Yeah. I mean, the most training I ever did was I was in Israel, and for 1 week I just did a basic training, which really knocked me on my ass. I mean, that was an amazing experience, but that's the most I've done. But it gave me a little taste of it, you know. So that was cool. It was a cool experience.
You have a quote, and this is Dave's quote.
Oh, I do.
Yep.
Which one?
I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it. I'm going to share it, and then I'm going to ask you a question. It's my firm belief that without God, there is no country. Madison Rising, for me, is truly a call back to service, a service that our country needs in a war that our country doesn't even know exists.
That's true.
Okay, so what is the war that you're referring to?
Well, I think that this nation is very blindfolded at this point in time. We're all very self-divided from any sort of group, any sort of community, even down to our own families. I feel like, it's done and in place for a reason. They don't want guys getting together and supporting wounded veterans. They don't want guys and people getting together and waving their flags high and proud for this country. They don't want people getting together as patriots, because it's patriots that take the country away from the people who are destroying it in this day and age, and that we're trying to destroy it in times past. So the reason for all these iPhones, Facebooks, media, Twitters, Instagrams, and all that stuff is to do nothing but take our eyes off the ball of what's happening. And I think that is the war that's happening even in our children and in society today. I think that the idea that you take God out of a country and you let any form of some other belief in what love and what unity and what pride in country and faith can do, you let something else interject itself in that, and you're doing nothing but supporting, I won't name any other religions.
Scientology,
radical Islam, but when you put it into, and you break down your walls of your culture, your society, your borders, your languages, and you let it open because you feel that it's politically correct and it's the hospitable thing to do and the humane thing to do. It opens up doors for a failure, not only economically, but also, socially, and, down to the family core and the family unit and the things that build up this country to keep it free up to this point. So that's pretty much the war that I believe is ongoing on a daily basis. And it's one that I'm trying, and we're trying, to do our best to infiltrate by getting out to patriots that are our age so that they can have something in their CD players or on their iPods that their kids can listen to and understand what American pride, American patriotism, and American sacrifice is at the end of the day.
It's a bit of an identity crisis that's going on. And,
True.
And I think the powers that be are purposefully shaking that up, and they want the younger generations to be confused as to what it means to be an American. And that's why when we travel and go around and we scream, at the top of our lungs, like, this is what being an American is about, we have to remind the younger folk, and really, I think everybody could use a reminder as to what it means to reclaim that identity. It's important. It's very important.
Well, and the fact that your music has so much meaning in it, and there was an interview that you did where you mentioned, to parents that you're a family man, and reminding parents to think about what they're listening to. And I think a lot of parents don't stop and think about what's on the background in the music. that, you know, that's playing on the radio as they're driving their kids to soccer. You know,
You're
they're
watching Sprout with your kid, and then a Viagra commercial comes popping up.
right.
You got
So-
some 6-year-old
Well,
cougar laying on a bed at the beach going, "You're with your darling." I'm like, hold on a second.
Well, because if there's no kids, then there's no
Boss.
Sprout. You
Yeah.
gotta,
You
you gotta
Sprout.
fix that so we can get Sprout more viewership.
So yeah, but no, it's a constant attack. The minds of our children are continuously under attack. Billboards, I mean, it's everywhere. My son's reading out loud now, and the things he reads out loud are unbelievable things that I wouldn't even notice. You know, he's noticed. They notice. Our children are sponges, and if we don't put anything that's positive in front of them, then what are they gonna turn into? What's gonna be their metal? You know, when they get to be of age and have to, you know, warrior up or soldier up for their country or soldier up for anything themselves, anything. What's gonna be there? Are they gonna have anything inside? Are they gonna be worth, you know, a grain of salt to their weight? And is it gonna be? Are we just gonna be just a group of
They'll be looking for the
weaklings?
trophies.
Just weaklings. Yeah.
Showed up.
Yeah, I showed up. Where's my trophy?
Where's my
I'm
trophy,
at work
man?
today. Where's my trophy?
Come on,
So-
we're 20 minutes late.
Yeah, that's the idea, and the idea is to really influence the kids. And if you watch any of our Facebook page or YouTube page, you'll see we get comments from kids. We do videos coming in from people all over the country, you know, showing videos of either their kids rocking out to the Star Spangled Banner in the car, or their kindergarten class passing around a flag, you know, listening to Star Spangled Banner. And if we can instill our kids with just a tiny grain of patriotism, then there's hope. There's hope for this nation.
Yeah.
But if we skip over it and say, no, that's and we rewrite history to say it doesn't matter what happened to make this country great. If we skip over that and we just teach the racial inequalities and the overall, you know, everything's not fair, but we'll make it fair for you mentality, then we're doomed, and the next generation is doomed as well.
Okay, this question is for each of you.
Uh-oh.
All right,
Sam, you have a quote.
we're gonna start.
Really?
It was from when you were in Vegas.
Oh, that
That's see what they she said, and
No. Okay, so what's a day in the life for a rock star? What's a day in the life?
Oh, you have to ask him.
Ask a rock star.
Who starts? AJ, you want to start?
A day in all right, on a day like today, it's wake up at 4 a.m.
Shoot your cribs video.
Sorry.
Shoot your cribs video.
Try not to cry. Get on a plane.
Tweet that you.
Yeah,
got on.
tweet about everything because I'm
matters.
bored. I see some weird. I saw some weird stuff. So yes, content.
Yeah.
Land, drive all over the place. Try to find an In-N-Out or Culver's because that is fantastic. We
Only
do
reason
not
we
have
cross-
these
The only
on
reason
the East
cross
Coast.
Mississippi-
Every time we're driving, we're like Culver's. I
Okay, download an app. It's Around Me. You can find everything around
don't.
you.
I don't know. I don't need it. I
One of
ate healthy
One of our
today.
sponsors today is It's Around Me. The It's Around Me app. Find out what's around you.
Go on,
They're
Where
not.
you are.
They're
It can
not
be
a
found on
sponsor
the-
yet, but
can
after
be found
today,
on the
they
app.
will be.
on the Apple's App Store or Android. Yeah, and then usually get to a hotel. I like to make, I don't know why, these stupid cribs videos where I use some weird voice that by the time I'm done filming it, I'm embarrassed about it. And then I upload it online anyway. And then,
He tweets about it being online.
yeah, and
Tweets
then,
about
and,
it.
and also I think a
Links
big part of it is watching very weird movies that are on TV.
Yeah, that's
And I'm always very interested when we come out towards the West. You guys have really weird commercials compared to what we have on the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah. You guys have commercials about things that I never see on the East Coast. You guys have a lot about stopping the heart attacks, the signs of heart attacks or strokes.
Mhm.
And then it's probably terrible, but I laugh every the one. What's the? I can't help it. It's the one with the people that have the uncontrollable laughter and crying. I want that person in my life.
Okay, what is your Twitter handle so that I can see this video? I'm serious.
It's AJ Larsen, Larsen music at AJ Larsen music.
And
Okay.
the app is called Around You.
And the app is
Around
called
Me.
Around
Oh,
Me.
Around Me.
Around Me,
Find out
and it
what's
is
around you by
it can
downloading
be downloaded on the App Store and Android phones.
All right.
For me, it's definitely a day-to-day struggle to try and stay in shape. Because when we're on the road, it's always, we don't have time to stop and really get a good meal. It's always McDonald's or Wendy's or Subway
Culver's,
or Culver's.
In-N-Out.
So just trying to maintain
Chinese
a
food.
good schedule and try and hit the gym when I can. But there's never anything. Pretty much nothing's consistent. So just kind of trying to juggle that.
What about truck stops? We
Truck
stop at a
stops.
lot of
Yeah.
truck stops.
Push-ups at truck stops.
Yeah.
Right?
Truck stops have
Lots of
amazing
truck stop
items.
push-ups.
My turn. All right. Oh man. Well, like Tom said, it's
Nice little
it's a constant flux. It's a very nomadic lifestyle. You're always on the move, always meeting new people. I find the toughest thing about being in the music industry is remembering everybody that you meet.
Yeah. 10 people.
Today, everybody was Joe.
Yeah. There were 3 Joes today. It was really good.
It's Joe, and later you can meet Joe.
So that's always tricky. A lot of travel. A lot of I guess you have to find a routine that works. When we got to the hotel, first thing I did was get my toiletries out. I put my phone in a certain spot. I get the charger in a certain spot. It's all just getting everything set. And the music side of it. I mean, what's tough is we play maybe 1% of the time that we're working is actually performing on stage. The real work, I would say, is everything else, is getting ready, practicing, making a set list, talking to people. I mean, so it's kind of interesting when you think about it. It's a whole bunch of stuff. It's
interesting though. It's interesting for.
It's not what people would think necessarily. Everybody thinks there's that. What's that on Facebook? It's like, here's what people think happens, and here's what really happens.
Nobody posts what really happens.
Right.
I always love during the summer when I come, if we travel a lot and you come home and I was just touring around, and you just see their eyes light up. It's like there was no tour bus, we're not Motley Crue, there was no stadiums. Calm down. There's a van and too much driving and 4 sweaty guys. That's it.
Lots of red eye.
Yeah, I would agree with pretty much all that. I would just say the only thing that it's a lot of chaos, and the only time there's any calm is
organized chaos
is when we're on the stage.
That
is the time where I'm most calm, but most physically just going to work. But that's about the closest thing.
That's the only time I think we know what's going on.
When you're on
we're all
stage.
If today all of our phones just broke, we got no clue we don't know where anything is. Who to talk? We'd just be on the side of the road.
Well, we'd have to all go on stage, and then we would know what's going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the only calm in it for me. I mean, it's the only sort of zen, is that moment of clarity. That's the only time. Everything else is just sort of white noise.
Do you get nervous just before you're about to go on stage? Is there any fear?
I get nervous
anxiety?
3 months before I have to go on stage. It's terrible. And then once it's it's there, then it's sort of plateaus.
No, every time we're about to go on stage, all right, hey, should we change this? I'm like, just leave stuff. We're walking up now. We can't.
It's a testament to you were saying before, Dave, to adapt to each situation, and that's why the set list 1 minute before the show might change. Might be like, wait, let's move "God Bless America" here, because we're seeing the crowd that comes in, and we want the show to be catered to the crowd. So bad. We want
that, or we
to really
can't make
enjoy
decisions,
or we can't make some decisions. But no, ultimately, I really think it is, because sometimes it'll be a whole. The age group will be from 5 years old to 60 years old. Sometimes it'll be just 40 plus. Sometimes it'll be so it's always changing. Like I said, so we're always mindful of that.
So what you're saying is the set list for tomorrow might change.
It might change. Yeah, we did.
Let's just put it this way: the way they move around so much, this guy goes out and buys a board with magnets, so we can just quick swap stuff. Hey, maybe we can just chuck it. And just whatever lands where. That's
interesting. Or just put them in a hat and then just pull
pick
out.
them out as we go.
She's onto something here.
All right. If you weren't doing this is another one for each of you.
Okay.
If you weren't doing what you're doing right now, and I don't mean this show.
I want Tom to answer this first.
Yeah.
Tom, you go
right.
first.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Where would I be working?
Yep.
Probably in schools. I used to do social work kind of stuff.
Say what you would want to be doing.
Your dream, if you weren't doing this, I mean, obviously this is your dream, but if you weren't doing this, what would be your other?
Oh man, probably. I don't know. Probably food critic.
Food critic.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. doing reviews
You
for.
sure? You were really into those palm trees.
Well, everything would I don't know. The problem is every food review would be positive. So, that's
Doesn't
part of
hurt
it.
anybody's feelings.
Okay, so
Yeah.
every food review would be positive.
Probably, yeah.
So you're the nice one.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could team up because I would all the negative.
That's true. Work side by side.
I would still be doing music, recording, just always music. I really couldn't imagine doing anything else.
AJ, you're up.
So yeah, I know it's a boring answer,
Okay.
but that's true.
I'd let's see. I'd probably end up back at some car dealership selling parts.
All right, listen. I will tell you because these guys.
Are we doing realistic?
These guys
Or
all
do I
missed
get
it.
to-
They all missed it. Okay.
Wait, do I get to
Tom-
like make something up?
No, Tom would be probably teaching biology of spiders,
No,
insects, critters.
Tom
Yeah, the
would be-
spiders,
That's probably what he would be doing. In some
Tom would be
school.
inventing those
Sam-
pamphlets about palm trees.
No. Sam would run probably like a camp for kids.
Oh,
Yeah,
basketball
I like that
camp.
one actually.
Like
That's
a
good.
basketball Jewish camp. AJ would be doing like
9 million
stand-up
things.
comedy at night, and then like
Yeah.
during the day he would be doing like voiceover work for different broadcasting situations. Because I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of people that do like voiceover things, but you know. Let me see here. I'm just gonna throw one out here. I'll be like, okay, so let's say I'm sitting in the van. I'll be like, dude, where are you going? And then he'll be like, you know, why are you asking me? I was like, shut up, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just tell me where you're going. And he would say,
No, we take the van and we go and we do these things and it's really great. And we get to the chopper and it's so good to just drive in the van.
not the Lamborghini.
But maybe instead, because we have a van, we spend a lot of time. So I decided the van should be called Van Dam. So maybe we should let Arnold go more with.
I don't even
Van
know what
Dam.
Van Dam sounds like. He can't. He doesn't talk,
when
does he?
when he talks,
I know
it
he was
sounds
in
like this.
Street Fighter, right? Wasn't
So
He
no,
was in Street
that's what they would do. Sam would have a little camp for kids.
Yeah.
Tom would be teaching bio something for spite because the kid has 50 arachnids that live in
I
his
got
house.
a
Hold on,
picture of
just-
it.
Little spray bottle.
You got to get back.
Yeah.
We'll be walking around, and he's like, "Oh, check out that palm tree." I'm like, "All right, go."
Palm
And like
trees
10
are
feet
cool.
later, he's like, "Oh, look at that palm tree." I'm like, "All right." And he's taking pictures. I'm like, "Dude, you can just Google those." Well, no, you see, because that palm tree, and all of a sudden he goes, "I'm like, how?"
There are a lot of different types of palm trees.
There's palm tree. That's it. In my world, there's palm tree. He knows too much about all this, and it's amazing the amount of information he knows about plants.
Scientific
Well,
name.
How many
Palm-
animals? in
Did you
general?
know that palm trees are actually a grass?
No, I don't know.
That's
Did you know that tomatoes are fruit?
good. Let's not talk about landscape.
Yeah, right.
Let's get away from that. All right. And what would you do?
I honestly, I have no idea.
You'd be on Shark
No
Tank.
clue. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Possibly.
You had the perfect, as you were describing what they would actually be doing,
I'd probably
you
be
had
a
them
human
pegged.
critic. I'd sit somewhere and be like,
A
"Dude,
life coach."
no." I'd be like the human. What is that thing
You're
called?
like
Tinder.
life coach.
It would be like a walk-up Tinder. No, fail. No. Just
Kind
joking.
of like hot, like
Just
hot or
walk
not.
up. Like
man.
people would line up. For
Would
me
you
to
have
Tinder
the-
them?
Would you have
So-
would you have the
Tinder.
fail stamp?
Yeah, like-
Just stamp fail
You know-
right on them.
I have to tell you, it's really interesting that you brought that up because I have a fun game.
Oh, no.
Is it the Tinder
Wow.
game?
It's not the,
Are
okay,
you
so
gonna show us
it's,
pictures and we yes or no that?
it's hot or not.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing
I know
that
that
I
game.
think about, because I'm the nice one. Okay.
Uh,
I think hot or not is really mean.
I don't.
That's Tinder.
That's
all-
life.
That's all that
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So hot or not, cartoon
Oh.
characters.
Definitely hot.
Hot.
I love cartoon characters.
Of course.
Hot. I'm already looking at what you got. Hot.
Absolutely.
Oh, still hot.
I already
Well, we
saw
should
the
say
next
who
one.
that is.
Who else doesn't want to go sneaking off with
from
Daphne?
Scooby-Doo.
That's
You
what I'm
guys
saying.
go over there, and me and Daphne will make sure.
All right, so
Shaggy,
Daphne,
go
hot.
sandwich.
Daphne,
Go away.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
hot. Hot.
Yeah, for sure.
That was Daphne,
Come on.
by the way.
I'm gonna say
I like
right.
that we have fictional characters.
Yes.
Ariel.
Ariel.
Yeah.
Part of me
Really?
feels really
You know
weird
what?
being
I'm a
like,
no on
kind
that.
of
No?
a child,
She's a little
though.
too young.
No.
for me. I can't do that.
yeah, but see the
She
red
collects
hair.
little
The red hair
trinkets.
is hot.
It's weird. No, I'm out.
And you know what though? Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna say no because she's clearly emotionally unstable. But she's like, oh, I want to be with you. I'll be a human. I don't have to be a mermaid anymore. I'll be human.
Yeah, Ariel's out. No.
Yeah, she's
All
out.
right. So
She's
Ariel
crazy.
is not.
She's got a fish body.
Sleeping Beauty.
Nah.
Let me see.
Nah.
High maintenance.
Why? Wait. Why
I
is
know
she high
nothing
maintenance?
about it. Well,
She
I
just
know-
I'm
sleeps
just
all
gonna
the
sit here and wait until a prince comes and kisses me, and I'm not doing anything until then.
I know nothing about sleeping.
No.
I don't know enough.
I like.
And she's
I like
nuts.
Sleeping
Look,
Beauty.
she plays with wild birds?
She sings to the animals and they come to her.
know
Yeah, sure, and then you
right?
piss her
Yeah,
off
from the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
And then
See,
she
I
sends
got
them
it.
to peck your eyes out or something. Pass.
Like the great Stephen Powell once said,
Next girl.
"Do you want to hide a body?"
Okay, I don't even know who this is.
I don't know what that
She-Ra
is.
something?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Ooh, I don't.
Doesn't
that
she
have-
look violent?
Let me see her.
Like she looked like she could kick your ass.
What is it?
Is that like He-Man?
I feel like it's some weird
think
anime
it's
thing
She-Ra.
that involves something
Yeah.
with tentacles, and I want nothing to do with it.
You know what? Nah.
That's a no.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Betty
No,
Boop.
no.
No,
Betty
absolutely
Boop.
not.
No.
Still out of
It smells like
proportion.
mothballs.
Yeah, I guess.
Betty Boop looks like she goes out, parties
Yeah.
way too hard, and you find her on your front lawn in the morning.
I think
Yeah.
she looks to me like she's like a tweaker. I mean, look
Yeah.
at those eyes.
Yeah.
Look at her hair.
She's like,
on
I'm
something.
so awake.
What are those
She's
little
on
dolls? The mope, whatever. those
I don't know.
are. Looks like one of those.
Betty Rubble.
Nah,
No.
too chatty.
Girls need to know their place. Go to the kitchen.
Oh my god.
Make me a sandwich.
All I remember her coming over and just gossiping all
Jessica
the time.
Rabbit, yeah.
Jessica Rabbit,
All
yeah.
Yeah. That's happening.
Now, see, that kind of hot or not I like because it's not offensive to anybody.
Yeah, I'm
It's
with
fictional characters.
Okay. All right.
But why is it offensive? That's life.
Judging?
Do you find it offensive when you go, oh, I don't like that car, but I like that car?
No, but cars don't have feelings.
I mean, you're not walking up to these people and going, no. You just in your head, you're like, oh, look at that
Yeah,
one.
I
kinda
just still
feel
think
like
it's
if you subject yourself to something like Tinder and I don't,
Right, then you're asking for
then
it.
you're kind of asking for it. It's like
Or like the
it's
man
almost
that I
like,
tweeted
hey,
about this
does
morning.
smell my breath. Does it stink?
Right.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it goes like you're
You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Or if you're the man that I tweeted about earlier this morning, it was, and I only have to say this just to paint the whole picture. It was, I guess, like an Indian guy. So he's got darker skin, and then he had bright blonde hair styled like Elvis Presley. Don't do
That's
that.
amazing.
Aww.
100% don't do that.
I like it.
But you know what's interesting? I mean, okay, so here's the thing, though.
And then I felt like he was staring at me weird when I got on the plane.
Because you were staring at him.
I probably was.
Here's the thing, though. We all learned recently with the dress, black or blue, white and gold. We all
he
learned.
thinks he's got black hair.
See?
Oh, okay. There
I
you
mean, we
go.
all see everything completely different.
So I should have taken a weird
Yeah.
picture and been like,
That's
dude, it's
true.
actually blonde.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
the dress.
All right. I know that we are completely over time, and I'm probably going to get in so much trouble
Oh, no.
afterwards. But
Circle back? Circle
yep, I want to let everyone know again. Tomorrow is the event. You can just show up and register for the
Yes.
ride.
Joe, tell us where.
All the
Come on.
details.
Hey,
Where is it going to
Haymakers.
be, Joe?
Haymakers on 99th Avenue in Happy Valley.
They need to be there at 10:30.
10:30 is registration.
It's
Okay.
the ride.
And then if they're not riding and they just want to come out and have fun,
Where are we
You
riding
can
to?
do that too.
Scottsdale Harley
We're
Davidson.
riding from where to where?
Haymakers to Scottsdale Harley.
We're starting at 10 o'clock. All right, cool.
10
What's going on in
10:30.
Scottsdale Harley
so,
Davidson?
so if people
Yeah.
are not riding, they need to show up at Scottsdale Harley Davidson at what time again?
at in between 1 and 3.
1 and
Show
3.
Starts,
So get
show
there.
starts, they can
Or-
show up whenever they want,
Okay.
but we'll be there somewhere around 1. Show starts at 3 o'clock. Madison Rising goes on at about 5.
And the cost?
The cost is $20 at the door. Donation.
$20 at the
Yes.
door. Okay.
We'll have food, beer, soda, water, anything anybody could want. We'll have it there. including
Mayonnaise,
beef.
ketchup, mustard, relish, buns, hot sauce.
Sunscreen, deodorant,
But
hair gel.
I also want to add in, if you can't make the ride or if you can't make the show, you should still look all this up and still figure out a way to help out.
Yeah, we do
Yes.
have a donation button on our website. If you
And
go
that
on there,
website again,
is
they fought we ride
national.
national.com.
They fought WeRideNational.com.
Yes.
And you can download that.
It's the
if you
easiest website to remember. They fought we ride national.com.
Yes.
Very easy.
tomorrow.
Just
It's
like
almost as
10.
easy as they
Madison
fought
Ride.
.com.
WeRideNational.com.
National.
It's almost as good as MadisonRising.com, but MadisonRising.com is a little easier. But
But we have links to
Is there a Facebook
MadisonRising.com.
page?
yeah, everything's
Do
linked.
you have a
up.
Facebook
Yeah,
page?
Yeah, same thing.
They do have
Same
a Facebook
thing.
page.
Go on Facebook
And-
and type that in.
And if you don't have something red to wear on Fridays, you can go to Madison Rising's website
Right.
because they have red,
It's a circle.
really cool t-shirts that you can wear.
We do. We have our
To
Rock
remember
Your
everyone's
Red
foot.
Support Your Troops Madison Rising t-shirts. When we were going to have them at the show, but until
We're
certain airlines.
gonna have them
Let
at
me
the
check
show.
the email and see what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Joe's got emails.
All right. Well, guys, gentlemen,
thank you so
thank
much.
you.
for having
Thank you
us.
all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. This has been No Limits Radio. Until tomorrow. Talk to you later.